Hello, Kenneth Hollins here with HollinsMusic.com. Thank you so much for taking the time and viewing this video. Now, what I have for you today is something that I believe will really help many gospel musicians. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a simple song, and in particular, I'm going to play the song Break Every Chain. Now, this is a very popular song and it works real well in church services. But what I'm going to do is play the song, and first I'm going to play it in a simplified way, and then I'll go back and add some things to it, some different variations, some different movements, and then I'm going to break down some of those variations and some of those movements with hopes of you picking up some of them, learning some of them, so that you can incorporate it into your playing. So hopefully this will be something that you can apply right away, and this is something that you can use if you play for your church or a ministry or you desire to. Hopefully this will help you to do that, okay? All right, so let's get into it. So I'm going to play the song Break Every Chain, and I'm going to do this in the key of B flat, all right? B flat major, or if you want to, you can look at it like G minor. G minor is the relative minor of B flat major, okay? All right, so I'm going to play it fairly simple first, and then I'll go back and then add some things to it. All right, so here we go. Okay, so real simple song, and let me give you the chords for the song first. All right, so we started off with, so this is simply G minor, okay, which simply consists of the notes G, B flat, and D. So that's the first chord, and then we go to, all right, we go to E flat major, which is simply E flat, G, B flat. Okay, and then we go to B flat major, which is simply B flat, D, F, and then we go to F major, which is simply F, A, C. That's the whole song, okay? Super easy. All right, now that we have the chords, how can we beef it up a little bit? How can we fatten it up a little bit? All right, so one thing that I was doing when I was playing it, okay, I turned the minor chord into a minor 11. Now that's something that I do quite often to give what I'm playing a more modern sound. So instead of just G, B flat, D for my minor chord, or the G minor, I actually did this. Okay, and that makes it a G minor 11 chord. All right, let's break that down. With my left hand, I'm playing G, D, F, okay? And then with my right hand, I'm playing A, B flat, C, D, and F again. All right, so the G is the 1, D is the 5, F is the flat 7, A is the 9, B flat is the flat 3, C is the 11, D is the 5 again, and F is the flat 7 again, okay? So that makes it G minor 11. That's something that I like to do to give it more of a modern sound. So again, all right, now we go to E flat major right here. Now one thing that I'm doing to try to make a bigger sounding chord, what I try to do is to incorporate space. One good rule of thumb is if you want to make your chord sound bigger, put space in between the notes of your chords. So in other words, for this E flat major, E flat, G, and B flat, okay? So the canvas, if I was painting a picture, my three colors would be E flat, G, and B flat. So I can arrange that however I want to try to get the sound that I want. So if I want a bigger sound, I can create a chord that has those three notes but with space in between them. So one thing that I'm doing is this, that. So instead of E flat, G, and B flat in root position, I'm playing it like this. All right, that's something that I do a lot with my left hand, is I will use that voicing or that hand position or that arrangement where I'm playing the 1 of the chord, the 5th of the chord, and then if you can reach it, depending on what key you're in, the 3rd of the chord. Now I can't quite reach the 3rd, which is the G, cleanly. So one thing that I do that I've learned that you can do, and it actually sounds pretty good, is you can include the 2nd of the chord too, which is the F. All right, so again, this is the 1st, this is the 3rd, this is the 5th. The 2nd would be that F right there. And it actually adds a little color to the chord. So I've learned with your left hand, if you can't quite reach it, you know, depending on the size of your hands. Now, some of you, your hands may be big enough where you can hit the E flat, the B flat, and the G cleanly with no trouble. Okay, I can almost do it, but it's a stretch for me. So if I'm in the heat of the moment and I'm playing the song, I just do this. Okay, and it sounds pretty good, you know, to do that. So I'm playing the 1, the 5, the 2, and the 3, and I'm playing the F and the G with my thumb. Okay, 2 notes with my thumb. Now another thing that you can do is you can play the E flat, hit your sustain pedal, which holds the E flat, and then get the 5th and the 3rd. Okay, that's something else that you can do. All right, now another way that you can look at this is it is also a way to just add warmth and body to your chord. Okay, so I like to do that, is where I will play a little bit lower to make it sound a little fuller. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, so when I get to the E flat, this is the exact voicing that I'm using. E flat, B flat, F, and G with the left hand, and then the right hand is B flat and F. Okay, and then we go here. B flat major, real simple, just playing B flat, F, B flat, left hand, and then the right hand is C, D, and F. Again, I'm playing a B flat major chord with an added 2. Okay, so always remember that if you want to add a little color to your chord, you always can add that 2. Okay, you can look at it like a 9 as well. And I just want to make sure everyone understands, when I say 2 or 9, what I'm referring to is whatever the root of your chord is, you think about that particular major scale. So if it's a B flat chord, I'm going to think about the B flat major scale, which would be this. Right? We all know that. And so we just apply the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So in the key of B flat or the B flat major scale, the 2 would be C. So what I know I can do is, when I'm playing the B flat major chord, I can plug in that 2. Okay? And I do that a lot in the course of playing, when I have major chords, when I have minor chords, when I have dominant 7 chords. Okay, and you can refer to it as the 2 or the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Notice it's the same note. Okay, I like to think about 2 because in my mind I feel like I can calculate or figure it out a little faster when I think about 2 as opposed to 9. Okay, but it's the same note. So again, let's go back. First chord. Okay, all right, and now we're on the F major. Same thing, real simple concepts. Okay, very, very simple. Now I'm playing F and C with the left hand, and then the right hand is G, A, and C. Okay? Now, this is something else that's important to your playing beyond the notes. Once you get the notes, then you want to try to play those notes in a stylistic way. So what you will notice is some notes I'm using grace notes. Notice the intensity or the dynamics of how I'm playing what I'm playing. Sometimes I play certain notes a little louder, certain notes a little softer, and those things make a difference. So it's important that you have a keyboard that allows you to do that, where that is touch sensitive, so that way you can be more expressive with the chords. So you can have your highs and your lows, and it's making it more expressive. Those things make a big difference. You don't want to just hammer it out. Everything is the same volume. Now that's okay, in certain situations you may want to do that. But if you're trying to make it real pretty, you're trying to make it real expressive, and you're trying to make it sound a certain way that creates an atmosphere of worship, you want to definitely take advantage of dynamics. So again, okay, so I tried to make it a little bit more expressive by varying my volume and how I was playing. So now let's see if we can take it a little further and see if we can add some more things to it. So let's play it again. Okay, so now let me break down some of the things that I did right there. So playing it again, still on the G minor 11, that's the same thing. Then, now this is what I started doing. I started playing alternate bass notes. Now that's something that you can do to create more variation in your chords. And this is the way that I think about it. Say for example, this is my first chord. This is my second chord. Now right here, just in no particular reason, I just want to try a different bass note than B flat, okay? So normally, of course, G minor 11, E flat major going to B flat major, right? Okay, so on that third chord, I just want to do something different. So what I did was, I played B flat major, but I changed the bass note to D natural, giving me this sound. Okay, here it is right here. Okay, not a big difference, but it's a little variation. And the way that I think about that is, whatever notes that are in the chord, that are actually in the chord itself, I can use that as a bass note. Okay, so what's in the chord, in the third chord? Okay, I can use B flat, I can use D, I can use F. Now I played the C, but I wouldn't use that as one of my bass notes. I use you know, one of the primary notes of the chord, not the added note, which is the 2. So I can use the B flat as a bass note, which is the standard note to use. I can use the D or the F, and it gives me variation. So let's try all 3. Here we go. Okay, it's standard one. That's the B flat, okay? All right, let's do it again. We're gonna change up right here. All right, let's try the D. All right, good. All right, here we go. Now this time we're gonna try the F. Okay, so you hear how it's really giving you different little colors and variations, and all you're doing is taking a different note that's in the chord and making that your bass note. And you can do that all throughout the song, okay? So let's try that. You don't want to overdo it, but you can use it to, you know, change it up just a little bit. So let's try that again. And we'll do it in a different place. Okay, I did it right there. Did it right there. Okay, so you see how you really, if you work that, it can really be something that's nice. When I was actually playing it, I just simply did this. And I think one pass, instead of going to the E flat, I stayed on the G as my bass note, like this. And then instead of going to B flat, I went to the D, and instead of F, on one of the passes I went to A natural, okay? Real simple concept, but it can be really powerful when you use it the right way. Okay, so now another thing that that you can do is you can start to use just little altered notes within your chords. Now, one thing that I did, and I do this a lot, you got to use this with caution. You don't want to overdo it. But instead of F major over A, this is a little something that I do sometimes, is this. Okay? So here we go. I mean, let me do it in context so you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, so instead of just the F major with the added 2, I actually did this. Okay, and really what it has in it that's different, it's really like an F major 7. Okay, G would be the 2, and then I have it voiced like this with an alternate bass note other than the F major 7. Okay, the F major chord, should I say? Okay, that's just a little something that I did, and then I also threw in a little passing chord right here. Okay, setting myself up headed for the E flat major. Like that, okay? Real simple. And what I like to do when I'm doing things like that, when I'm putting a passing chord before another main chord, like I'm looking at E flat major like it's a main chord in the song. The D chord is really just something leading me to the main chord. And this is actually D minor 11 leading me to the E flat major, okay? Because I really don't have to have that D minor 11 in there. Let me show you. Okay, going to the E flat. All right, now I do have to have that E flat in there or some variation of it, or it won't even sound like the song. But I don't have to have this. This is just something that I'm adding. So let me add it in so you can hear it in context. Okay, I threw it in there real quick. I'll do it again. All right. I'll play it again. I'll play it a few more times and then throw it in there. Okay. See, one of the keys to doing things like that is not doing it too much. Okay. It's just like cooking food. You don't want too much salt on it. You don't want too much sugar on it. You just want to season it just right. And it's the same way when it comes to music. Okay. Knowing when to use it. I did it right there. Okay, so now let me break those notes down for you. Real simple, just D and A with the left hand, and then the right hand is F, G. I'm playing F and G with my thumb, then A, C, and F. And then we go to the E flat major, and then here. Now, when I'm doing passing chords like that, leading me to main chords, I don't always do this, but I try to find a note that's like a common tone, and a lot of times it works well when it's the top note. So in this instance, F is the top note, okay? And it's a common tone between the two chords. And what that does is it makes the transition from one chord to the next smoother. So even though this is not a normal chord in the song, it actually makes it sound a little bit smoother. It makes it work a little bit better because of that common tone. Okay, I could even do a little bit more and go a little further. Maybe do something like this. Okay, I could do that, which I just did. A C minor 11, which is C, G, E flat, F, G, B flat, D, and F. Then, so, I just want to show you how that common tone helps bring it together. All right, I'll do it on this pass right here. Okay, all right, you can do that. Now let's do something a little more further out than just the C minor 11. I just want to prove to you that common top tone, or just a common tone in general, really helps bring it together. All right, let's try this. And this is outside of the key and everything. D flat or C sharp major 7, but I have this F on the top, okay? If you put it in context, you use it in the right way, you know, you throw it in there real quick, it'll probably work. So let's try it. Okay, I don't know if I would actually do that in a real situation, but you could. And some people like that, you know, where it's something that really stands out. But the principle of it is when you have a common top tone like that, it really helps bring things together like that. Okay, that's just the point that I'm trying to make. Okay, and then let's keep going. And then on one of the passes I did this. This is one of my favorite moves. Okay. Okay. So let's break that down. Basically, this is what you're doing. It's first like a D suspended chord going to a D dominant 7 flat 9. Okay. And the outward notes are staying the same. This is something that I learned from Bill Evans, but it's the outward notes are staying the same. D with my left hand, A with my right hand. A is the top note. The inward notes would be G and E. Now with my left hand, I'm playing D and G. Right hand is E and A. All right, and then we take the inward notes, bring them both down a half step. So the G comes down to G flat, the E comes down to E flat. So, okay, but one thing that makes it a little sweeter is if you throw in those grace notes. Okay, so I'm actually playing two grace notes, starting here, going to that. Okay, and those little things, it really makes a difference. You know, the little grace notes and the little slides and things, that's what gives you more of that modern gospel type of sound. You know, somebody may be thinking, well, you know, I can play those chords, but how do you get that sound? You know, one of the things, it's not the only thing, but just one of the things are the grace notes, the little slides and things like that. Those things make a really, really big difference if you throw them in the right places. So, all right, so let's put it in context. See, I threw that in there. Okay, so those little grace notes make a big difference. Okay, so now what I would like to do is to take everything that I just showed you, incorporating space in your chords, you know, using dynamics, playing a little softer at places, playing a little louder in places, also using alternate bass notes, incorporating the two with many of the major chords, even the minor chord. I'm actually incorporating the 2, which is the 9, and the 11 with the minor chord that I'm playing here. But you can do it on minor chords, dominant 7, major. And then, of course, I'm also using arpeggios, which is when you play the notes of the chord one at a time instead of all at the same time. Okay, so let's incorporate all of those things and let's see what we can come up with. So remember, now we started off with this. Okay, if we're just playing the basic chords, G minor, E flat major, B flat major, F major. Start over. Okay, all right, maybe that's how yours sounds right now, but if you incorporate the things that I just showed you, this is what we can transform it to. Okay, put little melodies in there, arpeggios, creating space, alternate bass notes. Passing chords. Okay, all right, there you go. Break every chain in the key of B flat major or G minor. I hope you enjoyed that. And the song is a simple song, so it's not necessarily about the song. It's about the little principles that I was attempting to show you. So I hope that you can take those things and apply them, play them at your church, try them out at your church for your ministry. My goal and my desire is to help gospel musicians that play for churches or play for ministries do it on a whole new level so that you can be more effective and more impactful in what it is that you do. Or if you just love gospel music and you want to incorporate that into your sound, there you go. Okay, so thank you again. Always remember, you can go to our website, which is hollandsmusic.com. I have several different videos that are up that I have done over the years on so many different topics and subjects that I really believe will tremendously help you in your growth and in your development for piano and organ. And one thing that people are getting right now that seems to be really helping them is the From Day One to Professional workbook and video set. That's available right now. The digital download, you can download that. You can download a lot of things, and I believe it's going to really help you. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, taking time to view this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope it added value to you and what it is that you do. And always remember, HMPI, we're serving gospel musicians all over the world.